Right. All right. Welcome. Today, I'm going to share with you how to bring the spark back into your marriage. So, if you discover that things have gone sour in your marriage, if you notice that you're not as connected as you would want to be, you think about the old days and you miss the laughter, the mutual affection, the romance, the joy of being together with your spouse, and you want to get back there. Today, what I'm going to share with you, the 5 points I'm going to share with you, will help you get there. All right. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Ade Subanjo. I'm a pastor and a love coach, and I help men recover their marriages and hit their goals. So today, I'm going to start with prayer as I do, and then I will share with you 5 things that you need to do to regain that spark, to bring that spark back to your marriage. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for everyone who's watching today. I ask that, Lord, you will release grace and wisdom into their lives so that they will know exactly what to do to bring that spark, that connection, that romance back into their marriages, so that my brothers and their wives can enjoy a deeper connection and more joy, more excitement in their marriages, and as a result become more effective as disciples of yours, Lord. We stand together against every attempt of the enemy to frustrate them and to cause them harm. Let your name be glorified in Jesus' mighty name. Amen and amen. All right. So if you have been working on your marriage and maybe you brought it from separation to where both of you are connected, you're back home, your wife is back home, or your husband is back home if you're a woman watching this. But I'm going to focus on the men because this is the worst month, and a lot of times the men are the one that are the receiving end, because they are the ones that key in to the fact that the marriage is not working last. So I'm gonna share with you, if you are struggling like that, maybe you've brought back some kind of understanding in the marriage, but the marriage is not where it once was. You think about your marriage and you remember when it was so beautiful, so you remember laughing and you were wondering, wow, what a beautiful woman this is, what a handsome man God has blessed me with, and you want to know, can we go back to that place where we were? And my answer to that, of course, is yes. I'm going to share with you 5 things that you can do, and of course, if you practice these things, they would help you. Now, before we get into those 5 things, I want to talk about the foundation that you need to have built before we talk about connection. Any marriage that works is built on 3 layers, and this spark being in your marriage is on the top layer, right? So if you have problem with communication in your marriage, then you have to work on communication. If you have a problem with commitment in the marriage, then you got to work on commitment. Now, if you have not worked on these 2, connection will be a bit difficult. So these 3 C's are the 3 things that you need to work on, and they build on each other. Communication is the foundation of every marriage, and commitment is the next layer that makes marriages work better. And then the last one is connection. But today we're going to focus on connection. What are the things that you need to do to improve the connection, especially to bring back the spark in your marriage? The first thing I'll ask you to do is something you can do on your own, but then maybe we can stretch it a bit. The first thing is think about how it used to be. How was your marriage before you got married? How was your relationship when you were dating? Think about that. What were the things that intrigued you about your wife? What were the things that made you just want to spend time with her. Now, from talking with a lot of men and thinking about my own situation, one big thing that makes a lot of men really love their wives, reconnect, is admiration. I know that maybe she admired you, she looked up to you, you were one of the best students in the class, or you were a teacher, or you were her pastor, or you were a counselor. Somehow she looked up to you, and that triggered something in you, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So think about what really made you like your wife. What made you so excited to be with her? What were the things that would run through your mind when you were not with her and when you were with her in those days before you got married, before everything went south? Now, I'm asking you those questions because when you think about them and you realize what your thoughts were, so maybe you come to the conclusion that, you know what, I like the way she looked at me, I like the way she talked, she was not blaming me, she was not attacking me, then you can see that that triggered something in you, and we're going to work on that. Okay, so now for men, the reason why we change a lot in marriage is if you move from being admired to being criticized, you're going to get to become defensive. And according to John Gottman, defensiveness is one of those 4 horses of the apocalypse. They would destroy any marriage. So when you start becoming defensive, you would be on the way to kill the marriage. And sometimes other people add criticism to it. So when they're after being defensive, then they begin to attack back and become critical of their spouses, and some even stonewall. So when you add all of this together, you destroy the marriage. Now, if you are trying to repair your marriage, you have to remove defensiveness, remove stonewalling, remove criticism, and put an end to those things that you know are destroying your marriage. And so we want to think about the feelings that you had, and we try to recreate them on your own. And then when you're recreating those feelings on your own, we then figure that you can begin to trigger those feelings in your wife, the feelings that she had. So that feeling of admiration that made you give her the attention that she craves, we can recreate it. So here's what I propose to you, the first step you do. So once you have done that first step and you start to think about the old days and the things that you were doing that made you really, the things that you felt, yeah? Now try to recreate those feelings, recreate those times. So when you felt you like to be with her, what did you do? You went to her, you try to take her out, you try to be around her, then you can recreate those feelings, those actions, even when you didn't have the feelings of admiration yet, right? So if you're the kind of person that you observe, you try to find out what she likes, try that. Try to find out what she likes. If all those days you were always trying to buy her something little, some gifts, something to encourage her, think about those things and do them. If in those days you noticed that she enjoyed certain places and restaurants, and she loved just you taking charge of saying, I would like to take you out today. And the way you did it with respect, the way you responded when she said, no, I don't want to. Maybe you can remember those days and remember those things. Try to recreate them. And the truth is, if you think about those days, it can trigger 2 types of feelings in you. It can trigger joy in you because you remember those beautiful experiences, and if it does that, then you are blessed, because from there you can then think of ways to recreate that. Now sometimes it may trigger sadness in you because you see how far you've fallen yet, but push through the sadness, and trust God to help you to really react to her, or act to her not as a reaction of the way she behaves, but as a gift to her. You now behave in a way that honors her and gives her attention, the same kind of attention that she loved then, even when she's not giving you the admiration that you crave. This can trigger the admiration again, and that's what we're trying to do. So that's the first step. So you reflect on how things used to be and how good they were, and you try to recreate your actions, even when you may not be getting the her actions that triggered those actions in the first place. So that's the first one. And the next one I want you to do is, of course, listen to her. Give her time. Make time for her. I know you are a busy person, and you may be quite even more busy now than you've ever been. And so when I say make time for her, you may wonder, where am I going to get that time from? But you got to think about the value of your marriage. Think about the value of your marriage and invest that time in her. And investing time in her may be doing things that you don't particularly enjoy, but you know she does. And so make time to do those things with her. And if you can think, you may have heard her say things that she wants. You may have heard her say things like, I would like to go try these things out one day. Like, why don't you spend time with us and the children? Anything like that she says that she enjoys, then make effort to do it. Now, I'm going to give you a warning. Doing these things do not immediately bring the spark back in the marriage. But what it does is that it gives her the opportunity to gradually fall back in love with you. So you make time. And if you can, make time to be with her alone, if possible. Now, alone doesn't mean in the bedroom. So I discovered that most marriages, because of the children, because of people you have in the home, being alone is now difficult. You need to plan to be alone, and in some cases you need to go out to be alone, and to invite her out may not be as easy for some. But for some, it is easy. She's been looking for it. She's craving it now. She may have shut down and made up her mind that she doesn't want to be alone with you anymore, because whenever you're alone together, there's always something to argue about. Now, I'm hoping that you have worked all of that out and you've learned to create a safe space where she can speak her mind without feeling criticized, without her feeling judged, without her feeling diminished. If you've not done that, then please work on that first. Now, so find ways to be alone with her, and when you're alone with her, listen to her. She may respond cold at first, but you have to ignore all the negatives and continue to behave in the way that you have chosen to behave as a man of God, which is how Jesus loves us. He continues to be who he is, and we learn to respond now positively. When God loves us, we respond to that love, many times foolishly, but continue. The same thing we do as parents. Even when our children misbehave, we don't throw them away. We continue to love them, or we should continue to love them. Some parents do some weird stuff though. Now, so in this case, make time for her. Find things that she enjoys and follow through. Try to do them. The next thing is communicate with intention. So we have those 5 love languages that is made popular by I forgot his name again. I keep forgetting his name when I need him. Anyway, the 5 love languages. Now, so one of them is to say words of appreciation. So yes, communicate intentionally with her. Figure out ways to let her know that you want to just chat with her. You enjoy talking to her. Make her feel that she can speak and you can listen. And the best way to do that is to initiate those communications. Say what you appreciate about her, what you love about how she's dressed, what you love about her nature. Those are the things you do when you meet a person. So just try to recreate those old days and figure out how to. She may be apprehensive at first because she knows that things were not well. But if you consistently just work on it, don't do it to an extra, don't do it excessively, you can break more things by flattering her than by communicating intentionally. So what I mean by communicate intentionally and use your words of appreciation is take the time to say, I see what you're doing, I appreciate what you're doing, I'm so glad that we have opportunities to speak. And of course, when you've done something that you think she doesn't appreciate, communicate it. Say, I'm sorry, I wish I didn't intend to do that, and I want to make it up. So things like that, communicate with her. Share also one or two things that about you, that you made a mistake at work has nothing to do with your relationship. Things for some people, they overshare that, so reduce that if that's you. But most times men just handle things on their own. They think about stuff and they work it in their head, and they don't share the process with their wife. So if you are in that state, I encourage you, get an opportunity, take time to look at something that happened in your day and share it. And once you've shared it, flip it around and ask her and listen. Don't bring your phone, your work into that space. Give her the full attention. What you will not do to a girl that you're trying to woo, don't do to your wife. Yes. No, I don't mean you cannot work and talk to her. But when you want to be intentional, don't mix it. Yes, you can once in a while talk and walk with her, to talk to her while working, and she can do the same. But have a habit of stopping for a minute or two to really have eye contact before moving on. So if your wife walks into the room, stop whatever you're doing, take a look at her and say, "Oh, hello, how are you? What's going on?" If you can practice that more, you will begin to see the spark coming back slowly but surely. All right. Now, try to do something new. Yes. While in addition to all of this, help her. Be there in the home. Yes. But move beyond the mundane. Everything every day, it becomes natural and normal. Try to shift things a bit. Do something new. Do something new with your wife. Do something interesting. Plan to an outing every month at least. Do something special every month, once a month. Think of something new and bring her along and encourage her or ask her what she would like to do. The more you bring something new into the marriage, the more it's exciting. Just like it was when you were dating. You weren't doing exactly the same thing. You wouldn't just go every day to walk by the river, or you won't go to watch movies every day. You do something different. So the same with your wife. Find something new to do. Now, if it is a wife that's trying to reconnect with the husband, it's the same thing. Figure out what they like and shift things around once in a while. Do things that are not what you would have done before, and do not. The most important things, if you have been following me, one of the most important things is do not get frustrated when they don't accept what you want to do. Just continue to try, because that's what you would have done when you were dating. It's the same respect. Whenever we don't attempt to control someone, that person gets attracted to us. It's just how it is, because we want to be free, we want to be fun, we want to be appreciated and valued. So if you want to bring the spark back in your marriage, then your goal is to try something new, turn things around a little bit, and whatever the reaction, it's okay, because you already tried something new, something exciting, and laugh and laugh. And the last one is, initiate connection, physical connection, right? So physical contact. All of the connections I'm going to talk about here, but I'm going to start from the physical contact. A little touch, a little hug, a kiss. It's important every day, right? And start from where they are comfortable. So for your wife, start from where she's comfortable and just keep building it. Let her lead. Don't force anything. Let her lead. And all this time, listen to her thoughts, listen to her fears, and make sure you understand them so you're connecting emotionally. Most times, think about how is she feeling. That's what I do, and that's how I grew. I didn't know that before. I would think about what is she saying instead of thinking about what is she feeling. But when I clued into that, and so many times I still forget because that's how I operate as a man. I'm always, what am I thinking? What am I doing? In fact, what am I doing is so important to me. So it's the main thing rather than what am I feeling. But for my wife, I discovered that when I connect with her feelings, I connect with her better. So think about what is she feeling and figure a way to connect with her there. And then finally connect with her spiritually. Yes, it makes a difference. When you pray with your wife, when you encourage her spiritually, you triggers another level of connection with her. So do not ignore praying with your wife. Do not ignore praying for your wife. Yes, she wants to be prayed for. She wants to be prayed over. She wants you to make declarations of God's blessings over her life. And as you do all of this, the spark will come. Now, I know as a man, you want to know, what about sexual intimacy? Yes, it comes. Intimacy. What you do is, as you connect with her physically, you follow her lead. You follow her lead and you move along with her pace. It may take some time to get back to the place where you once were, but you can move it forward if you're doing all of these things that I shared with you earlier. The first thing, revisit the old days and try to recreate what you can from that. Give her time and talk to her, do things with her alone. Then communicate with intention and show your appreciation with words. Yes, and then try to do new things. Turn things around. Don't stay in the same old routine every time. Finally, reignite connection with her physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And remember, when you are doing all of this, if she says no to any of the things that you're trying to do, do not get mad, just like you wouldn't do to a person you're trying to woo or to date. You're just going to figure them out more. She needs to be figured out. You may wonder, but I know her. Yes, you know her to this point, but there's more to know. And especially whenever she does something that you didn't expect, it means you didn't know that. So you're getting to know her more. So this is what I'm going to share with you. I know if it's a woman, you're a woman. I know a lot of my subscribers are women, so I'm going to share with you. If you're a woman, the same process works. The same process works. Just change it where the focus is attention. Your focus as a woman will be admiration. So figure out how to continue to admire your husband even when he doesn't seem to trigger or inspire that admiration. And once you start to admire him, he would automatically begin to give you attention, because the man wants to be admired, and his best way to respond to admiration is attention. He will give you the attention that you need, but it may take some time. All right, so I hope that this has helped you, and this will continue to help you move your marriage forward. So if you love what you have just heard and you want more of this, then subscribe to this channel. Like the video, send it to your friends and to family. And if you want to get my friendship building cheat sheet, so some of the things that I've shared here and more, you'll find it on a one-page PDF that you can just put somewhere. You can take a glance at it and you have all the steps, all the things that you need to do to rebuild friendship in your marriage. All you have to do is go to adesobanjo.com/friends, adesobanjo.com/friends, and you can download that cheat sheet, and you will be on my email list, and we can talk, and you can ask me questions, and I can be of help to you. Now, if you are struggling in your marriage is really down, and you're not even talking about rebuilding friendship now, you're really wondering if the marriage can be saved, well, then you can sit down with me and have a 15-minute chat, and I can help you with, number one, knowing what chances you have to repair that marriage, and most importantly, I can show you exactly what you need to do to turn your marriage around in a short time. So if you would like that, then connect with me on, try to book a call with me adesobanjo.com/chat chat, adesobanjo.com/chat, and I will be happy to connect with you to see what are those things that you can do to transform your marriage and save it so that you can have a beautiful marriage. All right. May the Lord bless you and keep you. And until we meet again, continue to love like Jesus and make mega impact. Bye for now.